Hey there, animal lovers! Get ready to dive into the magical, mini-sized world of the tiniest, and might I say, cutest creatures on Earth. You've heard of big, majestic animals like lions, tigers, and bears, but today we're going small. So small, some of these animals can literally fit in the palm of your hand. Let's meet the first of our mini miracles, shall we? Meet the Pygmy Marmoset, the world's smallest monkey. And when I say small, I mean tiny. At about 5 inches long, excluding their tail, which is impressively longer than their body, these little guys could probably hitch a ride in your jacket pocket without you even noticing. Hailing from the lush rainforests of South America, they spend their days climbing trees and chatting with their family members using high-pitched squeaks and whistles. They've even got a fancy word for it: vocalization. So basically, you've got a jungle choir made of mini monkeys. Now, you might be wondering, where did these adorable tree hoppers come from? Well, the Pygmy Marmoset belongs to the Callitrichidae family, a group of New World monkeys. They evolved from larger primates but stayed small to better navigate the dense forest canopy. Smart, right? Staying tiny lets them zip through the trees, avoiding predators while nibbling on tree sap, insects, and fruit. These little acrobats are highly social too. They live in groups called troops, where they help take care of each other's babies. Think of it like a super cute daycare in the treetops. And when they mate, they stay pretty loyal to one partner for life. Hashtag relationship goals, am I right? Next up, let's meet a creature that seems like it's always having a good day: the axolotl. Native to the lakes of Mexico, these little salamanders look like they're smiling all the time. And honestly, with those adorable frilly gills, it's hard not to smile back. Axolotls are a bit of a biological marvel. Unlike most amphibians, they don't undergo metamorphosis. Instead, they stay in their larval form their entire lives, keeping their gills and staying fully aquatic. Think of them as the Peter Pans of the animal world, refusing to grow up. But here's the real kicker. Axolotls have an extraordinary ability to regenerate body parts. Lose a leg? No problem. It'll grow back. They can even regenerate parts of their brain and spinal cord. Talk about an impressive superpower. The axolotl might be one of nature's greatest regenerators, able to grow back entire limbs like it's no big deal. But you know what else needs a little regeneration every now and then? That subscribe button down below. If you're enjoying these fascinating tiny creatures as much as we are, take a moment to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you'll never miss out on more amazing wildlife content. And if you're feeling extra generous, why not give this video a thumbs up? All right, back to our friend, the axolotl. They're part of the Ambystomatidae family and share ancestry with more typical land-dwelling salamanders. But somewhere along the evolutionary line, they decided the water was more their vibe. Diet-wise, they feed on small fish, worms, and insects, using suction to snap up their food. In the wild, they're solitary animals, but in captivity, they seem pretty laid back, probably because they know they're the star of the show with that permanent smile. And now for the smallest bird in the world, the bee hummingbird. At just 2.2 inches long and weighing less than 2 grams, this tiny bird could literally be mistaken for a bumblebee if you weren't paying attention. But don't be fooled by its size. This little bird is a powerhouse. Native to Cuba, the bee hummingbird spends its days zipping around flowers, feeding on nectar with its needle-like beak. And when I say zipping, I mean zipping. These hummingbirds can flap their wings up to 80 times per second. So fast that they create a buzzing sound, just like a bee. That's where they get their name from. Their tiny size and ultra-high metabolism mean they need to eat a lot. In fact, they visit up to 1,500 flowers a day to keep their energy up. But don't worry, they're doing the flowers a favor in return by pollinating them. Yep, these tiny birds are critical to the ecosystem, ensuring that plants reproduce as they hop from flower to flower. The bee hummingbird is part of the Trochilidae family, which includes all hummingbirds. They evolved from larger ancestors that roamed the Americas millions of years ago. But over time, they downsized to specialize in feeding from smaller flowers. And let's not forget about their stunning colors. Male bee hummingbirds are especially eye-catching, with iridescent feathers that shimmer in shades of red, pink, and blue. These vibrant colors are not just for show. During mating season, the males perform elaborate courtship displays to impress the ladies, showing off their dazzling feathers while performing aerial acrobatics. It's basically the bird version of Cirque du Soleil. When it comes to their homes, bee hummingbirds build nests that are so tiny they could fit in the palm of your hand. Made from bits of bark, leaves, and spider silk, these nests are perfectly suited for their tiny size. And when it's time to raise their young, females will lay just 1 or 2 eggs at a time, each one about the size of a pea. Next up, let's introduce one of the cutest and most cartoonish animals out there, the Pygmy Jerboa. With its tiny body, long legs, and exaggerated hopping, this little rodent looks like it belongs in a video game rather than the real world. At just 1.7 inches in length, excluding the tail, the Pygmy Jerboa is one of the smallest rodents on the planet, but don't let that fool you. This tiny animal can move. They use their long hind legs to jump around like miniature kangaroos, covering impressive distances in a single hop. If there were an Olympic event for tiny creatures, the Pygmy Jerboa would definitely take home the gold in the long jump. These little desert dwellers are native to the arid regions of Pakistan and China, where they've evolved to survive in harsh conditions. They're nocturnal, meaning they avoid the blistering daytime heat and come out at night to feed on seeds, plants, and the occasional insect. With food and water scarce in the desert, the Pygmy Jerboa has developed the ability to survive for long periods without drinking, getting most of its moisture from the food it eats. Talk about resourceful. So where do these bouncy furballs come from? They're part of the Dipodidae family, which includes other jerboas. Their ancestors likely evolved those long legs to escape predators in wide-open desert spaces. Jerboas have been around for millions of years, adapting perfectly to life in sandy deserts. Now, when it comes to their social life, Pygmy jerboas are pretty solitary creatures, but don't think that means they're boring. They use their large ears and acute hearing to detect predators from a distance. Communication is mostly through body language. Jerboas will drum their feet to warn each other of nearby threats, which is like a rodent version of Morse code. Oh, and mating season? That's when things get really exciting. Males will engage in long chases to woo the females, proving once again that size doesn't stop you from putting on a big show. And that wraps up our journey into the world of the tiniest and most adorable animals you've ever seen. From the tiny Pygmy Marmoset to the almost magical bee hummingbird, these creatures prove that even the smallest beings can leave a huge impression. But before you head off to marvel at more of nature's wonders, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more amazing content like this. We've got plenty more incredible animals to cover, and you won't want to miss what's coming next. Give us a like if you enjoyed the video, and let us know in the comments which tiny animals stole your heart. Was it the hopping Pygmy Jerboa? Or the adorable axolotl with its permanent smile? We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when our next video drops. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next adventure.